All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Hollow Knight Marauders podcast. I'm AJ, and I'm joined here by my Bombad Jedi pals and even another Jedi pal in a moment.
I know.
But Jamie and Matt, how are you guys doing?
I'm
doing all right.
great. Hanging out on a
doing-
Friday night.
Doing spectacular.
Yeah.
Hanging out on a Friday night. Anyway,
Let's cut to the chase, right? No
Yeah,
goofing
just get
around
into it.
yet.
Yeah, let's do it.
We're
Yet
joined here by the great Jedi Master, Jedi Bob, aka Bobby Moynihan. How are you doing, Bobby?
Hello, guys. How are you?
Good.
thank you so
for
much for
having
joining
me.
us.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for having me.
We're jazzed.
I said this earlier to everyone, but I said I see we all live in the same room.
Yeah.
Pretty
We
much.
do.
Yep. We're all
Random
trapped.
stuff to grab everywhere, stuff all over the place.
Yep.
All
That
weird
was-
stuff.
That was one thing we were definitely like, okay, so we're going to talk about Rebuild the Galaxy, but we definitely just want to talk about like being a Star Wars fan who's become a part of Star Wars as well. And we're like, you know what? We can't relate to becoming a part yet, but we can definitely relate to being the fan part. And I'm just super excited to talk like all things Star Wars. And
Same here.
for everyone in the chat so far as well, we will have like questions like at the end. If you have questions, all super chats will get shared at the very end. And then if we have time for additionals as well, we'll get to them. But if you have questions, like we'll try to get to them at the end. But we have a bunch of stuff that we drew up to chat about. We're going to cover everything. We're going to cover Rebuild the Galaxy. We're going to cover SNL. We're going to cover Resistance. We're going to cover like the three other random things.
Tales from Galaxy's Edge with Diesel Slack.
Yep.
Citizen number 2 in the
We
Bad
love
Batch.
Citizen
But
number
anyway,
two.
Oh yeah,
Citizen
my
number two
favorite.
fan.
I have a figure of him over
Absolutely.
there.
No,
we looked
I
it
mean,
up.
in the pantheon of Star Wars characters,
Oh, absolutely.
for sure. For sure.
Darth Vader, Luke
Citizen number
Skywalker, Citizen number 2.
Citizen number 2.
Citizen number 2.
But yeah, I mean, Jamie, if you want to kick us off with questions, or we can start with
So-
Rebuild the Galaxy or whatever you want.
So I think that the biggest thing I want to kick off with in general is how did you like become a Star Wars fan? Like was it like I was a Star Wars fan since birth kind of situation, but like what got you into Star Wars and how did you become a fan of Star Wars?
I feel like my first memory of Star Wars as a kid is like if I did something good or like when I was rewarded, it was like we're going to Woolworth and I'm going to get a Star Wars figure. Like one of the I'm sure, oh gosh, you guys are old enough that you probably have no idea what Woolworth is.
Oh, I do.
Or
Watch
it
a lot of
seems
videos,
like an
we know what
old-
it is.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. It was an old store that had like a diner in it. It was bizarre. And like that, like I remember like running down the aisle to get those Kenner figures, and like that was a huge thing. And Jedi was the first movie I saw in the theaters. And I don't know if you guys have heard of this, but like I was definitely like into all the Star Wars. Like I used to I remember going to the library to rent or like you could take out like VHS tapes, and I would get it was something called Hardware Wars, which was like
Hardware Wars. Yeah. I
have
know
you
that.
ever heard of this?
Yeah.
Of course, Matt has.
That one.
It was like a parody of Star Wars made out of like household appliances. Like I don't know, it was like some weird ass like thing that like probably a kid shouldn't have seen, but like I was watching that, like I thought that was really funny, and like I don't know, those are my first memories of it. Oh, and the Ewok Adventures like movies, like those I was super into.
Yeah.
Caravan of Courage.
Oh, classic. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, those were like my earliest Star Wars
I love
memories.
it. Yeah. So I don't want to put you on blast immediately here, but I have a clip
No.
to share from Star Wars Celebration 2019. And I just want to let you know if you recognize someone in it. So the clip is almost 2 minutes long, but we'll talk afterwards. But everybody stick around. There's a point to this. There is a point to this. It's in your background and it's in my background. So here we go.
And what I love about Flix and Orca is, there's a lot of stuff about Resistance that pulls from anime quite a bit. And there's a lot of like kind of Robotech influence and Ghibli influence. And I love, the Miyazaki influence. And I love I always love the little shopkeepers, the quirky little shopkeepers in those films. And that's what you get to be. And they're always kind of some of my favorite characters.
Thank you so much. That makes me so happy. I love their little family. I love GLN and Bitey, and I love that they have their own little universe in the Office of Acquisition.
Clap for Bitey.
It's a Bitey.
Clap for Bitey. Did you see the puppets that they have this year? Look right there.
They do.
They got a little Gorg. They got
I have this. I don't know if you could see it. Can I show a picture on my phone? Is that
We can do our best.
Louis Zakarian.
If you point.
I'm trying to find it. Oh, God, this was a poor thing to do.
No, it's going to be fine. I'll
right
stall.
Oh, God. You guys have 97 minutes.
Whoa.
I'll stall. Right, that was me. Can't show that picture. Sorry, Star Wars. It was me dressed as Princess Leia in a bikini.
Yeah, it was.
Well, now I guess I have to show
Yeah,
that
it
one.
was.
Well,
Please
I'll show
show
this
everybody.
one first. I'll show this one.
I think you
Get a
got okay.
camera
So
on
if
it.
you, Bobby, if you point to that camera right there, there's your.
This
light.
is an orca mask that Louis Zakarian at SNL is making for me that I can't believe. God, I think I just showed, and those are pictures of my family now.
It's always so amazing and so satisfying to see fans getting to be part of this because it's a series for fans by fans, and I just love that like you play Orca, and so of course you're having an Orca mask made. Like, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, it was
crazy.
So
That's the legend right there.
Is that you in the audience?
I would like you to meet Bobby the Gorg, which I named
Amazing.
after you because of that entire encounter.
Thank you so much. I saw it in the background when we first started, and I was amazed. But that's not you in the audience, is it?
That's me. Yeah,
It
That's
was.
you. Amazing.
that was, yeah, that was me. Was that you on stage?
Yes, it was.
We were trying to get your attention, but I don't
So
know.
yeah, we were trying to get your attention. We didn't, but we made this podcast.
How
Yes.
crazy is it that now we're here? Isn't that a little
Yeah.
bonkers?
The weirder thing about that, like rewatching it, is like I have like rewatched that a handful of times, like since, because I'm like, oh, I was on the stream and it was like at the same time as Bobby. I honestly never knew what you were talking about until recently, and so I didn't even know that that mask was made until rewatching that clip. So like, can you tell us a little bit more like about the mask, the Orca mask that was made by the SNL crew? I forget his name offhand already, but
Louis Zakarian, he's the makeup artist at SNL. I mean, like he's made some of the most amazing makeups in the history. I mean, he did that Beavis and Butthead sketch they did recently. Like
Yeah.
that's all Louis. Like like it's they're the best in the biz, and he knows I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and like whenever I was on the show, that's all I did was like, "Hey Louis, what do you want to make this week?" And like we would just. That's why there were so many Star Wars sketches with me and Louis, because I would just have him make me up in. I'm sorry if you see my eyes diverting. It's because I'm looking for the pictures. I just
it's
found the
happening all
pictures
over again, guys.
of the mask that he made. That was the mask when he cast it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And he was just like, dude, you're in a Star Wars thing. And I was like, he's like, I got to make you a mask. And I was like, are you kidding me? So I asked him to do it. And he made me that. He's the best. I
so
haven't
good.
worn it yet. I just painted it. I thought you were going to make me show you the picture of me dressed as Princess Leia.
No.
I
So
thought
like
that's what you were
again,
calling me
like
out.
I mean,
no.
I know that's what I'm looking for now.
that's
You
up to
don't
you.
have to. This
You-
was
you've
like
left us-
5 years ago.
I was
so
going to say
you
you
don't
left us on edge
have
for
to.
5 years.
I
On
have
the edge
been
of our
on that
seats.
cliffhanger, but this was about like the whole screaming at you from the audience, and nobody knew until
There
years.
it is, painted and everything. What a
Oh my
journey!
goodness.
What a
Oh my
journey.
gosh, you look so good.
I haven't added the hair, like I have like the eyebrows and stuff. I just haven't glued everything on.
Oh my
yet.
gosh,
That is
I'm
fantastic.
came out
obsessed
so
with
well.
it.
Yeah,
Oh
it's
my
pretty
gosh.
amazing. I mean, like he's the best. He did half this. There's a lot of things from Louis in here.
I'm so glad it's come full circle. But I had to share that
yeah,
with you.
I'm so glad.
sorry.
That's absolutely wonderful. And now I feel I am at least required to show you this picture. I have so many weird. I'm
This
looking
is-
at my phone and I'm running across things like this.
Oh, my God.
Oh,
That's so
right.
funny. That's
and we'll
so
get
good.
to SNL, of
Well,
course.
yeah, yeah.
It's great. It's crazy.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, me too. Until I saw that, I go like, "Oh yeah, that was that." I have a
Trip
lot
down
of like
memory lane.
Star Wars stuff. Oh gosh, yeah. Well, we should talk, and I'll keep
Yeah,
looking.
let's
Yeah,
look and see.
So we can kind of get on to Rebuild the Galaxy now, but did you know you obviously got to play and voice Jedi Bob in the series, and did you know who Jedi Bob was ahead of time before you got that role?
Uh-oh.
Oh, here we
Oh,
go.
wait.
Uh-oh.
Oh, amazing. When was
Oh my
that?
God.
It was for an SNL sketch and it got cut.
Oh no.
Donald Faison got to see it. Now we get to see it.
We get to
I
see
It was,
Jim.
am-
it was the one where I played Leia with I think James Franco, and it got like just that
Oh.
part.
Wow.
The tragedy of getting cut. Oh my god.
Oh,
But I
yeah.
love the look on Donald Faison's face when he sees that go by on my phone. He's like, "Whoa, naked lady," and I'm like,
Hey,
"No,
what was
that's
that?"
me, buddy."
No.
Watching that clip over and over again, just like it gets better every time because I get the
Literally.
lore of that photo, I get the lore of the mask, and then it's come full circle. So
Yeah. I'm
Oh, yeah.
glad there's closure.
finally,
I know.
finally.
We can finally
Happy
end the
SNL
podcast.
50 with that picture there.
Yeah, exactly. Sure,
So-
Lauren will be proud.
Oh, of course.
With,
Let's talk Rebuild the Galaxy. Let's actually get
yeah.
into Rebuild the
Back
Galaxy.
to this guy here, Jedi Bob.
Yeah,
who you
the
got to
greatest.
voice. Did
Have
you
so
know
many.
who Jedi Bob was before you got the role for it?
Yeah, I had one. I am a collector of things, and I had heard that Jedi Bob story and just like that idea of like, yeah, I have it.
The old
It's-
gunship here.
yeah, it's right over there. I'm just not gonna get up and get it.
We all have the same room.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I had it because I just thought that was a cool thing. I just liked the idea that the fans kind of made this thing its own, and I picked one up pretty early. And then when I met Dan and Benji, they were the best. And when they were working on this, they thank God they thought of me.
I don't even know where this like name Jedi Bob came from. I'm sure there's like a story somewhere, but it just kind of
I
happened.
think it was just like on the box it says Jedi. It was just like a generic Jedi.
Yeah.
So the fans just started calling him Jedi Bob. And
I think
just
that was like
stuck.
everything around like the early like 2000s and like late 90s was just like, oh, let's just name it Bob. That was just like the name.
It's easy. It's a good
but, like,
name.
I just kind of, I don't know like the first origin of it, but I think that was just like what happened. And then in the show itself, his full name is Jedi Master Barbarian Afol, AFOL, which is adult fans of Lego.
I had to explain that to Matt. Yeah,
I
2
didn't
days
know
ago.
that.
Oh yeah, it was like an
Adult
inside
fan of Lego,
joke.
yeah.
All of the like Yessie Scala, like Scala is one of the if you go back or Google Lego Scala, it was like an old defunct brand of Legos for girls, I believe, or something.
Oh,
that like
yeah.
That rings a
made
bell,
me-
actually. Yeah.
Yeah, it was there. Scala is another like. There's a bunch of Lego references.
Yeah. But with the show itself, like I really am glad they made something like this because like I love the Lego movie when that came out. I love the Lego Batman movie. I was almost like I wish they could do something with Star Wars and just its own thing. Like obviously they've done stuff with like Vader, Rey, and Finn and the gang and Poe Dameron. They've done things recently with that with real characters. But I kind of wish they could do their own original story, which is exactly what this was. And like, do you have any favorite moments from the series itself?
I
Whether it
mean,
was with your
doing the
character or
cantina
not.
scene with Luke Skywalker ain't so bad.
No, right?
I know, yeah.
Definitely
That
not.
was nuts. All of it, all of it is nuts. When I saw the trailer and I heard Jedi Bob say "punch it" on the Falcon, I was like, yeah, that's pretty fun.
That's a career
Yeah.
highlight, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I couldn't be more thankful. I've been lucky enough to do a bunch of things in Star Wars, but this one was like to play the Obi-Wan Kenobi to a new Luke Skywalker kid, and also have it be written by super fans who are hilarious. And I was in good hands, and to have all the you know the legacy characters come back, like just to have all those Ahmed and Mark and everybody and everyone who came back and did the Kelly Marie Tran and everybody, was just the best. Like I still can't believe it. I can't believe it. I have my own little my own little Jedi.
Yeah, Fuzzy Bob.
Oh, he's one of those like pipe cleaner ones, isn't he? Like,
Yeah,
someone-
I gotta
like
give
all
him a
the-
shout out. I gotta give him a shout. There's a guy on Instagram that makes them, and he made it, but like it's full on like a real like Lego piece. Like
That's wild.
I love that. I love when they do
I
That's
that.
love
impressive.
talented, artistic people.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's crazy.
Obsessed with it.
So
yeah.
cool. I'm obsessed.
the-
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was awesome.
I love how at the premiere, I love how you had your Jedi Bob cosplay going on, complete with the Tatooine Rhapsody shirt. Like that,
I didn't go to
was,
the premiere. I couldn't make a Jedi Bob one.
Oh, excuse me.
no.
Of course. Of course.
Excuse me.
Of course.
Excuse me. Well, I love how Jedi Bob attended the premiere. That was just like super exciting. Like, I guess like what made you decide to say, "Hey, I'm gonna go as Jedi Bob to this"?
Honestly, my daughter was coming and she was like, I want to dress up. And I was like, well, if you're dressing up, I'm dressing up. And there is a group picture of a bunch of like the entire cast, the producers, everyone from Lucasfilm. And I am just in a robe with Lego hands. And it looks, it looks pretty silly.
No, that's awesome.
I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. I am Jedi Bob.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
You'd be proud with that one. With you mentioned the great cast and the collection of people they brought in to do the series. Do you have any? I know voiceover work's kind of done like maybe not always with the cast all the time, but like, do you have any behind the scenes stories that you can share from creating it or anything like that?
God, it was just so fun. I got to work with some people. I didn't get to meet Gaten until afterwards, but he's so good in it. It's crazy.
He was.
Not really. It was just a blast. I just loved doing it. I could do it forever. There's a difference between I've been playing Star Wars my whole life, and like I realized like now I'm getting paid to do it, and like this is the cockiest thing I've ever said. Like I drove home going like I'm good at Star Wars. Like this was fun. Like and like it's a blast. It's a different muscle, and yeah, it is. It's like yeah. When someone goes, okay, now pretend to use the Force to spray Darth Vader, and I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm 47 years old, sir. I will. Thank you for yelling that to me in a microphone.
That's what a quote. That's I love that.
Yeah,
And we can confirm you are great at Star Wars.
Yes.
As all
Thank
these
you.
different things you've done.
It's just fun. It's just I was on live television for 9 years, and for Star Wars Resistance, I came in one day and they were like, "Hey, do you mind voicing a stormtrooper really quick?" And I was like, like my heart started pounding, and I was just like, "It's just I don't want to get it wrong." I was like, "It's just okay." Like, and like I was panicking. Like
Meanwhile, they're just like, can you just like say the line? But just please.
Meanwhile, like 8 hours later, I was on live TV in a diaper next to Al Gore. Not a care in the world.
The life, absolute life of
that
you.
is. Oh my god.
With playing Jedi Bob, did you have like a certain direction they told you to go with it, or Matt? I know you had a kind of
yeah, because I noticed the first couple of lines you read them like Alec Guinness. Like you are definitely. You mentioned Obi-Wan earlier. You are channeling Obi-Wan.
They when I went in, they were like, "This is our Han Solo," and I was like, "Oh no!" And I was like, "Yikes!" And they were like, and they kind of started laughing, and I was like, "They were like, what?" And I was like, "I kind of see him as like he's Obi-Wan." No, I'm sorry, he's like Qui-Gon pretending to be Obi-Wan, but he's actually Danny Glover from Lethal Weapon, and he's just old and tired. Like that's what I said to them, completely joking. I was like, he's pretending to be like a royal Jedi, and then he just wants to go home and go to bed, like, and just like crumble. And like we kind of just started playing with that, and that was kind of where it went. But like I love the idea of like Jedi Bob knows what he's like. He knows he's supposed to sound like a Jedi, and he is supposed to teach people. He doesn't know, and he's just pretending. And he's not that great at lightsabers. He's very good at force building, but like all the other stuff, he's not that great at. And he's like, I'm keeping my beard.
Oh yeah. I like the scenes. I think there's a couple scenes without his hood, and he just has like the no hair look. Great.
Full Shaq Fu, yeah, bald with a beard. If my dream ever to do Jedi Bob live action, I will be bald with yellow skin and just crab claws.
Oh, we await that moment.
Just
That's an
no
absolute
fingers. Just
horror.
He has to go. Yeah,
That's a
I
horror.
joked about that. People always talk about all these cameos and these people showing up, and I'm like, what if Jedi Bob was in?
I'm waiting for it.
Oh hell yeah! Why not? I want to do live. I want to do live action Orca. I want to be in a little suit and get shrunk down, or like.
Oh yeah.
They're like
amazing.
like separately, just on like the volume, and then you're just like, all right, guys, here I am.
You've got the mask.
Film it like Hobbit style, like
You're
tiny.
gonna make the sets really big.
Just you're way in the background. Everybody's in the foreground. Perfect.
Oh, I have the perfect body to play Orca. I can do
it. Yeah, I think you joked in that the clip we showed. We watched that interview the other day to get ready for this, but you were like, "Oh, someone said they saw someone in an Orca costume," but you're like, "Oh no, that was just me walking around." But we need you as live action Orca.
Oh, anything, yeah. I hope to do that one day. It would be fun.
Yeah,
to be like a weird creature.
Oh yeah, that's the dream, right?
Being in the actual one. You've done a lot. I mean, I wrote everything through of like what you've like done in Star Wars. Let me give the list that I found at least. So Rebuild the Galaxy, Visions, Resistance, Citizen Number 2 in the Bad Batch, Tales from the Galaxy's Edge, the VR game, and then season 7 of the Clone Wars. So you've like touched somehow like almost every single like animated feature in like the last like 5 years.
Did we miss anything?
I was the in Bad Batch. I was the trader, the grand trader that like sold Echo, something like that. And then
when the guy that that bought Echo,
pretends to be a droid.
That is like honestly one of my favorite scenes in the Bad Batch, to the point where like I have like that hunter costume made, and maybe like 2 other people in the world have ever made it, because I'm just like. That's
amazing. Talk amongst yourselves for 10 seconds and I will get something.
That was the episode with Clink, right?
That's the episode with Clink. Clink is one of his droids. That's just like in like the background. Just like
I gotta find a picture of this.
That is fantastic. Oh my god.
He's arguing for the credits and whatnot.
Yeah,
that's so funny. Yeah. I love how he knew like outright about the traitor.
There was another droid.
Yeah, there's the protocol droid, Clink, and then like another random droid. There he is.
There he is.
Whoa!
You're getting all this cool stuff. My goodness.
He's out here with the customs.
It's amazing what like the 3D printing world did. I was this guy on Resistance also.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. The goat guy.
Yeah,
goat guy.
Yanni, like just like I think probably like 1 or 2 lines, but yeah, it's I find it really fun. I was about to go show you all of them, but there might be some spoilers.
No.
I can't show yet. Yeah.
You're kind of becoming like King Glup Shido. Like you have all these this lineup.
Somebody, I showed it to my wife like 2 days ago. Somebody wrote, it was like some animation website had just pictures of all my Star Wars characters, and somebody tweeted, how come we keep Moynihan playing all these Glup Shidos? And I showed it to my wife. I was like, this is the highest honor I've ever
King Glup Shido. You need a shirt. You need a crown.
I'm not spoiling anything.
No spoilers.
I'm not spoiling anything, but let's just say there's a possibility that I was in a Star Wars things recently and I mentioned Glup Shido in it.
Oh my goodness.
100% trying to make it canon. I have no idea if they will use it. Okay. I tried to shoehorn it in really
if you are the hero that makes Glup Shido's canon,
then you are indeed King Glup Shido.
You are King Glup Shido. I'm making you a shirt. I'm sending you a crown. That would be unbelievable.
King Glup Shido. That's the highest honor.
We'll see. We'll see if it made it. I'll talk to you. In a
You
couple
gotta change all your social media bios to just King Glup Shadow. And if people don't know what that is, that's
Okay.
their loss. Come on.
Shall we move on to some SNL?
Let's move on to a little bit of that.
Yeah.
I one of the things I want to talk about off the bat though is I just mentioned how you were Jedi Bob at the premiere. How does it feel to know that that
There it is.
it's great.
It's so good.
So mind you, this is the transition over to SNL. So how does it feel to know that you still inspire to this day an army of Matt the Radar technicians like at Comic-Con? Like to this day. It's been a while and they still are everywhere.
It's the greatest. I saw a picture recently of Nothing Makes Me Prouder. That's one of my favorite things. The I don't know if you can see.
I love how this entire stream is just look at this, look at that.
Honestly.
Oh, it makes sense.
That is
the
Kylo Ren helmet from it, and if you see it, it says from your friend, love your friend Matt. He signed it. That's the one.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
That's the one that
That's
he wore.
incredible.
That is so good.
So I guess just to like jump right into the original. So Undercover Boss, Star Killer Base. How did that all come about in the first place?
We knew Adam Driver was coming, and from what I remember, I got together with Mikey and Taryn because we were kind of the resident Star Wars fans, and said, "What do you want to do?" And my pitch was, me and Taryn are stormtroopers, and we are mopping up a hallway. And we're like, yeah, it's a long day. And we were just like stormtroopers and we were mopping up. And then all of a sudden you heard the fight of Kylo and Harrison Ford happening up on the thing. And we both were like, oh, that doesn't sound good. Yeah, they sound mad. And then you heard, ah!
Oh no.
And a body hit the ground and exploded, and we were covered. Everything was covered in blood, and we just went like, we just mopped this. We just mopped this.
What a pitch.
You guys made a skit where Harrison Ford splatters into a million pieces.
I can see why they said no.
No, it did not. Adam Driver was like, what else you got?
What else you got?
I believe it was Mikey Day who was like, we should do an Undercover Boss at Star Killer Base with Kylo Ren, and we were like, yeah, that's probably a smart idea. And we did that. Thank God.
Oh. I'm glad I pulled out my Adam Driver cutout to hear that story.
Yeah,
me too.
I was seeing what you were doing to shuffle around there.
I was knocking things over. I was hoping I didn't unplug the computer.
What are you doing? Oh gosh, I love that. But yeah, that sketch, that one alone is so like well beloved. It's just like wild how we always get these like one-off like SNL sketches, especially like the Star Wars ones that are like that. Another like random question that I've always had just like about Undercover Boss is the costumes that you guys had in it were impeccable. Did they like allow you to borrow the costumes for it? Because it really looks like they did.
His is real. His whole Kylo Ren thing is the like the PR costume, like the one they send out for photos. Like we had done some Star Wars things recently, and they reached out and were like, if you ever need us, like let us know, and they helped us with that one.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else was SNL made, and that helmet I brought for him. I was like, can you put this on? But everything else was costume people. Like they
impeccable.
Like, just like they went to Home Depot, got a $5 orange vest and a jumpsuit. Like, yeah, they're geniuses.
Honestly, that's how you make Star Wars costumes, though. You go to Home Depot, you pick up a bunch of stuff, you put it together, and it looks like it's Star Wars.
Slap a pack of chiclets on your chest, and
you're all set. There you go. As somebody named Matt, Matt straight up sucks. I've heard that quite a few times. Maybe that's more on me, but
you're not that bad.
You rank highly among the best.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I try.
So Bobby, we talked about that famous skit, which has just like a huge following in the cosplay community, as we said, in conventions. You always see a Star Wars Celebration included. Like you always see a Matt the Radar Technician or a bunch of them. But do you have a favorite Star Wars sketch from SNL, or like a couple other favorites?
I mean, that one is super special. They were all like, I still can't believe it. Like, it's like, I can't believe I had a job where I was like, I wrote down on a piece of paper that I'm going to play Princess Leia and you're going to build me a Millennium Falcon. And, and like this, hold on.
Oh boy.
All right.
Yes.
I'm pumped.
Show and tell.
This is awesome.
Just
It's
so
like
much
funny
show
to-
and tell tonight.
The first
It's
time he
great.
got up, I thought he was going to like do something like important. But he was just grabbing
He's
his
just
action
putting
figures.
the mini
no,
figures.
that's incredibly important.
No, I know, but I thought he had to like a call or something. I don't
I'm
know.
realizing how many props there are just everywhere.
He's
There was
literally
that
just like
one-
sifting through.
There was the one, I think it was the James Franco one. Did you have me? Are you still there? Hello?
We're still
yeah.
here.
Yeah, we're still here.
Are you still here?
Yeah, right. It was like the Star Wars trailer for Force Awakens, and the whole joke was like everybody got old. And then
Oh yeah.
I was Leia, and like the last shot was Salacious Crumb in the wheelchair.
Mhm.
And
No way.
that's
Wow.
perfect.
Crumb in the wheelchair. And then there was the one where I was Boba Fett and I had super long hair for some reason. Like, and we had an R2D2. I just took out the body, but I have the full R2D2.
Ooh.
But it's all, this was like,
Oh, wow.
John Boy, that's Daisy Ridley.
Nice.
Wait,
This is so good.
JJ.
Wow.
And then John Boyega and Adam. Like when they all came, they just all signed it because it was in my dressing room.
That's awesome. My
It looked
God.
like, did they all sign their names and then their character, or was that just Adam? Because I saw the big Kylo Ren just like
I know.
written with finger.
He's the only one. He also wrote "Join the Dark Side," which I thought was
Oh,
very playful for Adam Driver.
I noticed
is
you
good.
mentioned he also signed the Kylo mask, Matt the Radar Technician. So that's
He
just something
signed
he
it. Your
does.
best friend Matt.
Yeah,
in character, of course.
in character. He just stays
Yeah.
in character.
He doesn't want people to sell it on eBay. I'm like, I'm
Hey.
not going to. I'm not.
No.
Nobody's gonna know about it unless they watch this video. So I mean, like, whatever. They'll find it. They'll find it and they'll know.
I remember there was one skit, we watched this recently, where maybe it was Taryn was in there too, where you guys are like collectors, but it's like a toy commercial.
Oh
And
yeah,
you're like, oh, we're playing with it. The kids are playing with it. And then you're like, oh, we're gonna keep it in the box.
yeah. That's
And-
all this stuff. That case. That case is this case. It's like they just came.
Oh, that's so
They
good.
were like, we don't know how to get props for this, and I was like, just come to my house with a truck. And they did, and we brought half of this stuff there and set it up, and then or put it in the box and never touch it. That thing that I'm touching is like right there.
Wow.
Yeah, no, that was me mocking myself. That was me mocking.
Yeah, I was about to say very personal skit, huh?
Yes, very
Yeah.
much
Very
so.
personal
They're
skit.
they're just like filming, like, man, we're getting really meta here. Like, we gotta just like take it down like 2 notches. Like, we know.
There's-
but-
There's a moment where like I get mad at the little kid, and I'm like, that's not how you do it. And I make him land the Falcon, and I'm like, and it stops, and it gets really quiet for a second, and like that is 100% real. Like that is the most real I've ever. That is the most genuine I think I've ever been in my life. Is that silent moment right after where I'm just really proud of myself.
You didn't even have to act at that part. It was just
No, I
it was
was
you.
not. No, that
You were
was
yourself.
me. That was me.
Oh, that's
Star Wars on SNL aside, that I mentioned like pre-stream that like you've always been like one of my like favorite guys on SNL. And so I've just been like super excited to chat with you. But what has been, if you had to pick like one, maybe two, what is one of your favorite sketches that you did as a cast member on SNL?
Gosh, it's so hard. I mean, like it changes. When you say that, I think of like there are some like David Pumpkins or the Beyonce sketch. Like there are these ones that like, that kind of like I remember writing them and how silly they were, and that dumb idea at 3 o'clock in the morning, and then all of a sudden it's a Halloween costume, or like the Beyonce thing was like some dumb idea, and then the next Monday it was like the cover of Entertainment Weekly, like 3 days later, and it was just like, and that was like my 8th show, and like those, like the power the show itself has when for some reason they go, this, we don't know why, but we like Tom Hanks dressed as this pumpkin man, and you're just like, okay, fine. Like those kind of moments where you just go like, yeah, that's what this show is like, it's insanity.
with SNL celebrating its 50th anniversary, is there any plans with you? I know obviously they bring people back and forth for that kind of stuff. Do you have any plans with that?
Me and Lauren are supposed to just chill and watch old episodes.
As it should be.
That sounds like a time.
It's gonna be fun. Yeah, there's like it's the 50th. They're gonna blow it out. Yeah, it's gonna be nuts.
We'll keep an eye out.
Yeah, you should.
Keep an eye out. We'll keep an
I
eye out.
remember the 40th was during your time there still, right? Because I remember Jamie and I were watching that, and that was a blast to watch that.
Yeah, that one was a big one.
Yeah, that one was one of the most surreal nights of my life. I stole Wayne and Garth's I stole Garth's drumsticks. They're here somewhere.
No way.
Oh gosh,
everything's in that room.
They're in that room.
Yeah, I'd spend most of my time sitting in this chair, going, "Someday I'll find it." No, that was a blast. That was a super surreal night. I met George Lucas that night. That was nuts. Wow. Yeah, it's very crazy to be on stage with Keith Richards and Jim Carrey, and then smoking a joint with Keith Richards and Paul McCartney, and you're just like, what's happening?
Wow.
What an experience. My God.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
Bonkers. It makes no sense. It's like a Mad Lib.
That is what that show is, honestly.
Yeah, when it's at its best.
We've talked about Resistance. We talked about Orca a bit. Matt might be the #1 fan of Resistance in the world, possibly.
Super Resistance fan.
Our friend Garrick and then Matt are the two I think of.
I'll give Garrick #1. I'll take #2. Still.
Matt, do you have any questions regarding Resistance that you'd like to ask Orca himself?
I mean, like you and Jim Rash like work off of each other so well. Did you? So
gonna get this tattoo someday.
Oh hell yeah! Exactly.
Someday.
That's so good.
And it actually came up in the clip too. I mean, it's always fun to play like the character that's kind of like this like kooky mechanic, like the guy in the shop that that has like a million different things in the background. I'm starting to realize
Star Wars is my favorite Star Wars.
I'm starting to realize that the guy with all the like doodads and stuff in the background, that was just you. You were just playing yourself again.
Yeah.
As it turns out, as I've learned about you today.
Yes. That was fun. Like I knew Jim, like I was just a fan, and I knew Jim through Taron Killam a little bit, and we had met. And then when we like the first time they were like, do you know Jim Rash? He's going to come in and audition. And I was like, no, like I got really excited. And when we saw each other, we got super excited. And I think they saw that and they went like, well, this is really fun. And like, I remember thinking before we started reading lines, we may have gotten the part because we were so happy to see each other. Like if that makes any sense. Well, no, I think
but it was a reunion of this married couple before like you guys even got married.
They just saw two grown men's chemistry of like, oh, I miss you. Hi. And they went like, yeah, let's just let them do it. Like, I truly believe that. I truly believe that it was like I really feel like we got it before we spoke. And then we get to say Star Wars stuff. He's an amazingly funny and talented actor and improviser. It was a blast. Those shorts are like one of my favorite. There's like a bunch of just shorts of just me and him doing stuff, and it's my favorite. Those are my favorite.
I love that.
I know there's we were talking about it last night that one of our favorite episodes in Resistance is when you and him return to his home worlds.
Yeah.
And all that
His
I mean,
brother's like
nervous.
Paul F. Tompkins, right?
Yeah, yes.
we
like
just
his dad, right?
we loved your two characters so much in the background with you guys and everything. So like that one really focused on you guys the most, probably out of all the episodes in the show.
Yeah, it was nice to have an episode that focused on the two of you. You're icons. There's no other way to put it.
I love it. I want to make T-shirts with you know how they have those T-shirts with it says Leia, it's a picture of Leia with the profile that says I love you, and then it's a picture of Han Solo facing the other way, facing her, and it's just him, and on top it says I know. I really want to make ones with Flick saying I love you and Orca saying I know.
Oh,
please.
Really bad.
A lot of T-shirt ideas tonight.
You don't do that. Yeah, right.
We'll get the idea out there. We'll get the idea.
And then on the
out there.
back it says Glup Shit King.
Gulp shit, okay. We're going back to that.
Jamie or Matt, did you have any more questions?
I
like
think
regarding
that
resistance or
I mean we've kind of like touched on it like already. I think you just casually said it, but like out of all of the stuff you've done in Star Wars so far, what would you have say has been your favorite role in Star Wars?
I mean, Orca like is my baby, was my first, you know, like I will love him forever, but like I can't begin to explain how what an honor it was. Like it sounds so, you know, it really was. It was an honor to play like a Jedi in Star Wars. It was a blast. Like
you're on a Star Wars podcast. You don't have to worry about that.
I know. I just think like out of all of the people in the world that are Star Wars fans and actors, I'm glad I'm the one that got to play Jedi Bob. Yeah, exactly.
So are we, because
so
you did a good job.
Very
and your name's Bob.
Yeah,
did that play into it? I mean,
do you think that played into you getting the part?
I was about to say 100%, but I'll go like 80.
Yeah,
You were born. You were born to play.
I
Jedi
feel like
Bob.
just having a beard did it.
When we heard that you were gonna play Jedi Bob, immediately like it was like, oh, it
We were
clicked.
like,
That
this
makes
is
It was like, yeah, oh, that's
This
perfect.
is gonna be the one.
I still can't believe it. I can't believe it.
What else was I thinking here? I mean, did you with we didn't talk about you playing an emo hut.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, yeah, and Visions. I feel like this
Rhapsody.
is okay.
Make me I have that figure too.
You have that
We're-
figure too.
We're all over the place.
I have the whole band. I have Star Waver. That's my band.
Oh my god.
I have
This
the
is
whole
just, like,
band.
Okay, I gotta say, you probably are like one of the only people on Earth to like have these figures because they don't make figures for everything. You know the struggle.
No, I
And
had
so,
these
like,
made.
Go out of the way to like get your figures like made. Literally just I'm doing it myself. But
Yeah,
yeah.
no, I've been a collector for long enough, and also I've just been a fan of artists, and like there's a couple sculptors, just like people who work for you know these companies like Sideshow and stuff that make them, and I've just become friendly with them, and now literally now there's just it's like you can 3D print stuff, and I did a series called Lightning Wolves. I was a huge fan of Thundercats, and I made a cartoon called Lightning Wolves. It was just like a hard R Thundercats, and like I have somebody made all of those characters for me. Like I enjoy employing people who like to do the stuff that I like to do.
Yeah.
What would you say out of your room are some of your favorite pieces like in your collection in that room?
I mean, it changes, but working with the Muppets was my dream, and like Gonzo was my favorite, and I got to meet Gonzo, and then I had one of the Muppet guys make me a Gonzo, and that's up there. I got this SNL jersey for Christmas from my mom before I was on SNL, and then I just brought it to SNL and had every host and musical guest sign it that I could.
Wow.
Oh my god, that's
Like,
so special.
Paul
That is-
McCartney, Lady Gaga, like everyone, it's nuts. But yeah, like that's like there's stuff like that. I have a lot of just one-off insane things. There's a figure up there from Lost. Damon Lindelof gave me like a Bobby Moynihan Lost action figure, like 'cause he knew I was a fan of Lost. There's a couple things just like somebody. I had 9 years of giving people SNL tickets, and people knew I was a collector and a fan. So people did some really nice things for me, and I just gave my tickets to artists or like comic book artists. It would be like, can you make something for me? Yeah, I just
Honestly.
didn't know any better and used it as a barter system.
And I
I'm
mean,
trying to
that's
think of like
yeah.
other cool stuff, but like that I don't want to fully out myself.
Is
I'll
there
get
any...
the geezer figure. That's the best. That's like just because they
Okay,
came out
okay.
great.
Okay.
I
There's
know
these
someone in the
guys,
chat was
3D
asking.
Panda on Etsy that made them.
We Bear Bears.
We Bear
Oh yeah,
Bears.
he was
Yeah,
Panda. Yeah,
exactly.
someone in the chat asked about the band, but we'll see what he's got. This is, I love how show and tell this is fully just turned
yeah.
into. It's
That's not how I was
turned in-
expecting it to go, but it's
Show and tell.
fantastic. I love
It
it.
turned into a tour of Bobby's office or room, whatever this is.
The Glove
There's
Shadow
the
King
room.
has so much.
The club show.
I'm trying to see what else he has back there.
I know I
Today's
can't
past.
move everything because it's all in this case.
That's totally
But I
fair.
oh, hold on. This is a nightmare. But I got these out. Well, this was one I had made.
the Caesar Slack.
Caesar Slack.
Slack. Dude.
So good.
Can confirm.
Nice.
Good game.
Yeah.
Hanging out in the bar is just the best part.
Oh,
Matt.
perfect.
Like
Perfect.
An old,
So good.
An old Kenner Matt is my favorite.
Look,
He
I
looks
found
so
his
Came out
name.
silly.
so
So
accurate.
good. It came
That
out
is-
so good.
That's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah,
My
people are
God.
great.
Now we need one of you, and we need a vending machine, and we need you to just.
Oh, give me a second.
No, what are you doing?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
What did you?
What have
He
I
doesn't-
done?
I can't
What
blame
have you
Matt.
done?
And every other word, there's something.
Oh, that's perfect.
Oh.
With the card and everything. Oh, it's so good.
Cheers all around. Oh,
The vending machine. Oh.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
Hopefully
oh my
we don't
gosh,
have,
that's
hopefully we don't have to make you
incredible.
get up again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That's my
Fantastic.
own fault. I never do stuff from in here. I just have family in town, so I had to set up in my office.
Oh,
And
perfect.
now I'm like, oh,
wow,
this is-
we're lucky.
Well, we really, really appreciate it because we
Yeah,
love to
right?
see all of this stuff. But before
I
we went,
appreciate you
before we
showing
went
off.
on, I was digging around through all of my stuff, looking for my card of the Before the Rain Comes the Rainbow. Or sorry, After the Rain Comes the Rainbow.
Yeah.
I can't find it for the life of me. It's that kind of thing where, like, you know, it could be in like a stack of stickers somewhere. It might be like with my tax
Yeah.
returns. I don't know where it is, but I know it's in this house. But I was this close to just being like, look, I have it. Like I ended up getting it from someone who was doing Kylo Ren costume stuff years ago, and they just handed them out as like freebies, like with like the fabric, and it's just like, okay.
The best. I have the Matt name tag somewhere.
Yeah, I trust you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Before
we're not going to make
we-
you get up.
Yeah.
Before we kind
No
of
more
wrap up
stuff.
here, we were aiming for maybe at 45, 50 minutes here, so we're getting to that
Mhm.
point. But
Mm.
which role, or you know, you've done so many random Glup Shido roles in Star Wars, and maybe that is the highest of praises. But do you have like a dream role that you'd like to do, like that you would like to play in Star Wars, or has it kind of already happened?
No, I mean it's already. I mean, like, yeah, like I love working in this world. I will continue to do it in any capacity. I would love to get a couple weirdo aliens under my belt or anything. Yeah, I don't care. It's all great. A droid would be nice here and there.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
you'd be great as a droid.
live action Hut. I'm ready.
Live action HUD. Yeah,
Let's do it.
let's do it.
Lucasfilm, if you're listening,
And we know you are.
we need that.
You know you
All
are.
right.
You always are.
Always listening.
And Hardware
I'm
Wars
trying to think-
remake.
Hardware
When?
Wars remake, definitely. If I could, but I will say this: if I could, I wrote another sketch at SNL when Rogue One came out. The whole joke was like Rogue One, a Star Wars story, and then it was like there's other stories, and we wrote Porkins, a Star Wars story, and it was just like everyone was running to their ships, and I was like, I'm coming. And it was like a high drama just about him being a little overweight, and that was it. and that did not get in. But if I could play anything, I would like to do a full prequel movie, all about the Rancor Keeper and just what the hell his deal was.
Malakili, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
The weird relationship with his monsters that he has.
Mhm.
Honestly, it's so funny.
That's the one.
Malakili, he speaks to so many people. He speaks to so many people.
Yeah.
Like
a tender gentleman.
He is, absolutely. And I think you would bring the depth to that role.
I agree. The respect 100%. It deserves.
Exactly. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean that was I guess that was my final end with a bang question. I don't know. Yeah. Can we make him grab anything else in his room? I don't know.
No,
yeah, let's
no, I'm not.
I don't know what else.
I vaguely asked, and that was like a bad ask because then it was ending up, no, let's look at all of the actual stuff in the room. And I'm like, no, don't do that. Oh my gosh. No, I mean, I think that is like, I feel like I could, well, I mean, we could be just talking about like random stuff like for forever, but I think that just in general, Star Wars wise, as a fan, you said earlier that Return of the Jedi was your first movie that you saw, but
yeah,
what would you say is your favorite Star Wars movie?
Ooh.
There we go. Ending with the big one.
I mean, like in the sense of like you're telling me like for the rest of my life I can only watch one Star Wars movie for the rest of my life. Like I get one thing I'm allowed to consume and only one of them. I'm guessing I'm picking New Hope just because like that's Star Wars.
Yeah.
That being said, like Star Wars to me is the Jabba the Hutt scene, the Ewoks. Like I grew up in the Return of the Jedi era of like that was when it was like I was like I will be in Jabba's palace someday. I really dug it. But they're all really good. But like Rogue One's up there. Like I really like Rogue One. I think that's amazing. Like there's a bunch of good stuff. I want Manny Jacinto's character in the Accolades and everything.
Yes.
Man,
he was incredible.
He's the greatest.
Those arms.
There's a lot of like real fun stuff that's been out recently. Yeah, gigantic arm.
Man, I didn't think we were gonna end about Manny Jacinto's arms, but I guess that's where that's
It
gonna
always
end.
does. It always does.
I
have his arms here somewhere.
Yeah. just off camera. Just
pretty sure Yord said the same thing. And, didn't think it was gonna end with his arms.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways,
well, I think we'll wrap up. I think that we'll wrap up in general. I didn't really see any questions in the chat, unfortunately, but I mean, we talked your ear off. We've seen your entire collection. No, we've only seen like a couple things in your collection.
If you want to take a couple questions, we can quick. That's cool.
If anybody has questions, drop them in because
throw them in.
We'll wrap up soon. But if it's about the collection, come on, guys.
Yeah, let's not send them all around.
It's not bad. I it's fun to show it off every once in a while, especially to people who understand it.
Okay. Yeah.
I'd like to give a shout out to one of my favorite Documentary Now episodes, Any Given Saturday Afternoon.
Oh, yay, my favorite.
I think one of the best scenes in that I think was like you lost in the tournament, and then you're in line getting the guy's autograph like the next day or whatever. Just amazing.
That sounds like me in real life. I have that jacket. I have the jacket they gave me. The
comeback kid.
The comeback kid jacket. I have. Yeah. I've never thrown anything away in my life.
All right, we got one here from Andy. If you get a beer or beverage or whatever with any one of the characters, with any one of your characters, who are you getting one with in the cantina? That's a good one.
Star Wars? Oh man, all of them. Any one of them. Jedi Bob probably throws back a couple. Orca definitely does.
Orca knows how to party, I think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's pretty good.
Yeah, all of them. Cecil Slack's a bartender. He's probably got a bunch of great stories.
Yeah,
true.
Good listener.
Yeah. Geezer's too young. I think he's like an emo teen. I think he's probably not of age yet. He's probably drinking Mad Dog 2020.
Chocolate milk, Bantha milk.
Yeah, that's it.
Blue milk. This one from our friends over at My Experience, Your Experience. Go check out their podcast if you can. Did you ever dress up as a Star Wars character when you were a kid?
No, only as an adult. I only got paid to do it as an adult.
Which is honestly better.
And we were
It's
blessed
true.
to see
It's also true.
the Leia photo was the highlight of this whole thing.
Oh,
There you go.
absolutely.
Yeah.
The never before seen Leia photo. Big deal.
Congratulations. I'm glad you got closure.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it's funny you mentioned that because like it really was a running joke because that was before this podcast even started. Once we started this, it was always like, when are we getting Bobby Moynihan on? Like it was literally like
awesome.
a half joking, like we need to get him on, but it's like, are we ever gonna be able to? And so this is actually like total closure. Like this is great.
Oh yeah.
Really
Is it closure? No, I think I think it may have reopened something more because now we know he has so much like in this little room, and now I'm just like, like what's going on? So... oh jeez.
I like Andy's second question.
We got to those couple. Oh yeah, we'll do one more. We'll do one more.
We'll do one more. One more.
This is a big one.
Who would you pick to officiate Flix and Orca's wedding? And who do you think proposed, Flix or Orca? I would think Flix, but
you would, but it was me.
Okay.
With all my heart.
Oh man, big softy Orca.
Yeah, he said, "Hey, what do we do? What are we doing here?"
I can see it.
That's amazing. Wait, what was the first question?
Who would officiate the wedding?
Oh, that's amazing. I like to think Bib Fortuna.
They went all the way to Tatooine for the wedding.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of like who was a fun. No, you know who would do it? The weird hairy janitor guy from Resistance that showed up. Yes. Oh, Pete Pitt, that dude.
Oh, Pete
yes,
Pitt, yeah.
The orange fuzzballs.
Yes,
the pumpkin.
Yeah, him. Yeah.
I carved this pumpkin years ago, and it's coming. It's come in handy so much,
more than you would think.
Literally, like this is like my #1 prop comedy thing that I have like lying around here.
Yeah, that dude. I think that dude definitely
perfect.
I don't even know if he speaks, but we'll take it. It's all love.
There we go. Some good questions, guys, from the chat. Love it.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, of course. I love how we got a couple of those in. But thank you, Bobby. Thank you so much for joining us tonight and taking the time to chat with us and just for being you in Star Wars. And I hope that we get to see you more somehow in the future with it, but just also in all your future projects. We're super excited with everything you do.
Right.
Thank you so much, guys. What a blast. So much fun. Nice to be around good people.
This was an absolute treat. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah, same here.
Definitely.
All right. Thank you for everybody for joining us tonight in the chat as well. This video obviously stays up on YouTube, and we will catch you guys sometime soon. We will be doing Skeleton Crew coverage later this year. But until next time, there'll probably be something in between. So we'll catch you guys next time, the Hollow Knight Runners podcast. Good night, everybody.